which is one of the, yeah. So he was been promoted as a lead analyst CAE in Tata Johnson Control Automotive Limited, Pune, and he worked over there as a lead CAE analyst in CAE department of Tata Johnson Control, Pune. He is having 5+ years of experience in all type of crash as well as component level analysis on vehicle interior systems, including complete seating system, door panel, instrument panel system, floor consoles, overhead consoles, vehicle batteries, and etc. So he has a huge experience of handling all these parameters. And then he after this Johnson Control, he joined Shape Corporation as an application development engineer. He worked over there for some time, and then he again shifted to uh, no Node Elementary Consultancy Private Limited as a director. He worked as a director over there, and then probably by around 2016 he started his own venture called as Eleno Energy LLP, and since 2016 he is a managing partner for Eleno Energy LLP. So he is having a team of engineers who have completed a lot of projects in the field of railways, defense, automotive, and general engineering domains. So Eleno is actively involved in all these particular mesh work and related some other technical aspects. Along with this, sir is also heading this training and counseling department of Eleno Engineering Learning Center, which is actually the training division of Eleno Group, which will be a great place for computer aided engineering learning. And they have a lot of courses included, and the team is basically expert in crashworthiness, impact, drop test, and blast loading, and many other parameters related to this safety. So till date they have around placed 350 plus candidates in the last 6 years, that too from mechanical engineering, and that too in the CAE field. He also guided some PhD projects, around 8+ projects, and then 25 plus masters projects. So such a huge experience in academics as well as industry is going to definitely help you guys for this particular session about this virtual internship in this core industry. So along with this, sir is also editor in chief for the Heroes of Engineering, which is his own idea to actually showcase the people, those who are very successful in this engineering field, which can actually share their knowledge for, and give some motivation to the students to do something better for the society and for the industry also. So this is what I guess Nachiket sir, and as a person, he's a really nice person, really kind person, really supportive and helpful person. We had a lot of sessions about this field, and we had an interaction since last almost 1.5 year. So we are really happy to have you, sir, for this today's session. And I request all the students to just be aware and just be part active into this for this session particularly, so that you can get a lot of information, knowledge, and you can explore your career ahead into this particular field. So with this, I hand over this session to the Nachiket sir for the further session. Thank you, Nachiket sir. Over to you.
Thank you very much for a very detailed introduction. Nothing missed out, and very, very much thankful to you. Okay, so guys, before we start, I just want to know from where you are. Okay, just type in your city name, so I can just feel from where we are getting all the participants. Pune, Navi Mumbai, Pune, Nagpur, Isalkaranji, Sangli, Thane, Mumbai, Chiprod, Navi Sangvi. Oh, okay. Mumbai, Satara, Chiprod. It's so fast. Very fast. Jalgaon. Okay. Nice. Airoli, Solapur, Khopoli, Mumbai, Kalyan, Ratnagiri, Navi Mumbai, Mumbai, Thane, Aurangabad, Republic of Dombivli. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Satara, Pune, Barshi, Navi Mumbai, Kalyan. Fine. Great. Dapoli, Vai, Mumbai, Panvel, Raigad, Navi Mumbai, Pune, Pimpri Chinchwad, Khed. Okay. There are many Khed, so that's fine. Mumbai, Nashik, Kalyan. Okay, good. So we have people from Palghar. Amazing. Barshi. Amazing. Okay, good. Nice, nice, nice. Thank you very much. We are almost 231 people, and it's really amazing to have this kind of an energy, even if it is an online platform, a classroom, or a hall. It doesn't matter. What matters is an alignment of every single participant into this particular session. Okay, so we all are aligned. So make sure you guys are ready, and I'm very much thankful for you guys to join in this large number. And this is going to be an interesting session. I'm going to make it exciting. I want you guys to pay very good attention. Okay, good. Thanks, Saili. Thanks, Sahil. Thanks, everyone. Prasanna, Aniket, whatever random names I'm ushered. Thanks a lot. Omkar, Siddesh, Mayur. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. Okay, so before we formally begin the session, I written that in email. You have to be ready with pen and paper. Okay, it cannot be a session without writing. We have to write by our own hands. So type in PP if you are ready with pen and paper. Quick, be quick. Be ready with pen and paper. Amazing. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. Nitin, Peter, Jayesh, Sujit, Abbas. Yes, Samuel. Thank you very much. Mohammed, Shubham. Perfect. Zubair. Omkar. Amazing. Amazing. Okay. Now, yeah, overwhelmed. Many people here, and thanks for very good arrangement by Sandeep sir. I'm just a facilitator here. Most of the work is done by Sandeep sir. We had a call last week, and we tried to get this internship kind of thing ready within a week. So many thanks to all of the TPOs across Maharashtra to take a lot of efforts in building this kind of a community. Okay, so I have given in my email a link to join me on LinkedIn, which is at the last part in the signature part. So please do so. Please join me on LinkedIn. There are too many things happening. I'm super active on LinkedIn, and I try to guide people on LinkedIn in an active way. Okay. So without any further delay, let me share my screen. And before even I share my screen, I'll just try to understand the overall second year, third year, final year demography. Okay, so just type in your year of engineering as ACT and B. Okay, just to get know how many people are there from ACT and B. Okay, B, T, SE, fine, T, good, nice. Last semester, that's good. Okay, unemployed, so that's fine. So you have done your graduation. That's okay. Okay, going to be going to be okay, fine. Be completed this academic year. Perfect. Okay, nice. So perfect. Amazing, amazing. Okay, diploma, that's fine, perfectly fine. B Samuel, okay, nice, amazing, perfect. Thanks, guys. So the I'll set a context. Okay, listen to me carefully, very carefully. The context here is, I want every single student to feel how companies work. Okay, I'll repeat. I want every single mechanical engineering student to feel how companies work, to get an idea how companies work, what is the communication part, what are the various things which are happening in an organization. And all these things are possible not by industrial visit, not by just looking at company website, but by an internship. Do you agree? Type in agree if you agree with this statement. You can feel the organization if you join as an intern. Agree? Perfect. Thanks, guys. Okay, now this is the first point. So I'm trying to give you a glimpse of what is happening in the industry, what are the work pressures, what is actually a work pressure, and all these things we will try to understand in an internship. So the program will be listed by Sandeep sir to you guys in a formal way. I'm here just to introduce the subject. Okay, so it is going to be a training and internship program, and as Sandeep sir stated correctly, we have a separate training division, we have a separate services division. Okay, we don't have a mix. We are not mixing it up. We have a separate dedicated team for training. We have a separate dedicated team for defense projects, railways project, automotive project, aerospace project. So these projects are being handled by all the engineers in the company, and the training division is led by me, and there are a bunch of engineers who are support engineers who are actually supporting. So we shuffle, we make sure that everyone is teaching, and those who are effective teachers always have ability to become effective leaders. Okay, so if you can teach a team, if you can teach bunch of engineers, you are always going to be on a path of becoming an effective leader. So that is one important part I just wanted to clarify. The other important thing is this internship is all going to be about product development. It is not a tool internship. So let me clarify this in a further slide. Okay. Yes. Okay. So those who have other commitments at 12 o'clock, I'm sure I'm not going to finish at 12 o'clock. So those who have other commitments at 12 o'clock, please right now also you can just move out perfectly fine, and or you can just wait for 11:55 and then move out. I'm perfectly okay with that. Okay, so there are some comments about other commitments, but that's something which is going to happen anyway for everyone. Okay, very normal. So let me share my screen. Just let me know if you can see my screen or not. Visible? Type in V if my screen is visible. Visible? Okay, good, nice. Yes, so this is an introduction. As I said, what is it that we are going to cover? Very fast. I'll just explain you what is it that I'm going to cover. First thing, what is engineering? What is mechanical design? What is an organizational structure in any organization? What is a concept of subject matter technical expert? What is crash analysis? Okay, a very brief, I'm going to explain you. Who should learn crash analysis? Okay, what is a career path to become a CAE analyst, and how Eleno can help you become master in CAE. Very simple topics. Visible, right, everyone? Good. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is only for mechanical and production and automotive branch. Okay. So mechanical, production, automobile, I'll call it as a mechanical umbrella. Fine. Yeah. So give us ideas regarding final year project. You can connect me on LinkedIn, and let me just understand. Okay. You can connect me on LinkedIn and we can talk. Sign. Yeah, Aniket, this is not for computer guys for sure. Okay, this is not for computer guys, for mechanical, production, and automobile. Okay, good. So let's begin by understanding a simple concept of engineering. What is an engineering? It is a bridge between a research and end user. Very simple. What is it that we do? We provide solutions. Always remember this word. We provide solutions. We provide some kind of an arrangement which is going to solve a problem. Okay, that's something which we do as an engineer. That's a very simple definition of engineering. Now, what happens in research? You have unlimited resources. You have unlimited time. You have unlimited resources. You have unlimited time. Whereas in engineering, you always have limited resources. For example, you have limited number of people working, you have limited money, you have limited time. All these things are limited. So if you have constraint for time and the resources, you have to be innovative. You have to be innovative. You have to innovate yourself, and you have to make sure you are providing solution in the best possible way. That is something which is going to happen with regards to definition of engineering. Type in clear if this definition is clear. Okay, I'll just disable the annotations. Clear, everyone? Type in clear if this definition is clear. Fast. Clear. Okay, good, nice. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Now, when we talk about engineering, we are always going to talk about design. Okay, so this is just one part of engineering. Manufacturing is another part, service is another part, design is one part, concept is other part, even program management is very big part of it, but we will just focus on design right now. Okay, so CAE, that is computer aided engineering, CAD, that is computer aided design, these two are part of a design department. Okay, so I'll just explain you what is a design department and other stuff, don't worry about it. Now, what is a career in mechanical design? We'll just try to create a block diagram. You can create this block diagram later. I'll give you a time of 30 seconds to create it. Right now, just listen to me. So what is a career in mechanical design? It always starts with listening. Let's define listening. What is listening? Let me just clear the annotations, guys. 1 second. Clear all drawings. Yeah, the line has gone. It's always an accident. Fine. So what is listening? The first ability to become a very good design engineer, a CAE analyst, is to listen. That means ask appropriate questions at correct time. Okay, ask appropriate questions at correct time. So without you listening out clearly to the guy, if you are just putting questions in front of it, like right now people put a question in front of me, guide us in mechanical final year mechanical projects, that's not an appropriate question. I'm not blaming anyone, I'm just trying to give you a definition that ask appropriate questions at correct time. I have written in email that please stay with me till end to ask any questions. Okay, how many of you received email from me? Just type in email if you received email from me. Those who received email, just type in email, those who received email. Okay, most of you got it, right? So I just took it. I'm not going to spam you. I don't want to spam anyone. I want everyone to join me on LinkedIn. I don't want to spam you on emails. Okay, so make sure this is just 1 or 2 emails you are going to get from my side, nothing more. Perfect. So ask appropriate questions at correct time. That is the definition of listening. Now, if you go back to the slide which we are referring to mechanical design, once we listen to the customer, we are in a position to lead to various researches. Okay, so where to search for a research, that is extremely important. And when we are listening, we are getting clues where to refer to research to. So you are not supposed to research anything. You are only supposed to refer to a research. What next you are supposed to do? You are supposed to plan your activities. So planning will be either material planning, resource planning, or time planning, or all of three. And that is extremely important. So there is a clear cut path after your 4 or 5 years or 10 years of working, where you can lead yourself to a technical management, and which is typically called as program management professional, PMP. You must have heard this word. So there are many PMPs out there on LinkedIn. You can just watch that. So you have listening skill, you have a research referring ability, which is called as reference, and planning ability. Once you get that, it's all going to be very, very easy and good. The next important task for any engineer's life is speed and teamwork. Engineer is always good in team. Remember this. Remember this. I'm not alone. I have engineers working with me, and that's why these kind of sessions, these kind of outputs are possible. So it's not just my achievement. I was part of a team. I'm right now also part of a team, and I will always remain part of a team. If you forget this, if you forget that you are part of a team, you are just not going to be successful as you can be. Okay, so make sure you are always becoming part of a team. So after planning, you have to achieve certain speed using team. Without team, you cannot succeed. We are not artists. We cannot work alone. We have to have team. Once the work is done, you have to present your work. And this is very important skill. presenting your own work is extremely valuable, extremely important. Fine. So you have to present your work and you have to make sure you are asking correct question to client again. So you are listening to client again. And that way your customer will be happy and you will be getting bonus, you will be getting promotion, you will be recognized in a large organization and you will feel fulfilled. Okay. Useful, type in useful if this particular block diagram is useful. I'll give you 15 seconds. Try to create this block diagram in your notebook and type in done once you are done writing. Okay, I'll give you 15 seconds. Make sure you are typing, make sure you are drawing the block diagram and type in done. So I can proceed with the next slide. Okay, another 25 minutes. To be very frank, we will be finishing at 11:55. Don't worry. Okay, 11:55 or maybe 10 minutes here and there. And I will be investing more time on your question and answers. Good. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks, Akash. Thanks, Kumar. Perfect. Thanks, Jaiswar. Thanks, Kiran. Thanks, Gauri. Thanks, Yadnesh. Thanks, Vishal. Perfect. Okay. Amazing. This group is amazing. Pat yourself that you are responsive. And this is going to make your life interesting. Okay. Otherwise, it will be just another boring online day where you can sleep and talk or sleep and listen. That's not going to be a good learning. You guys can see I'm standing right now. I have a special table which can come up and go down. Very innovative table. And purposefully I'm standing and teaching. That gives me sense of responsibility and that gives me sense of connection with you guys. Okay. So very, very important. Let's proceed further. Now, let's understand. One second, guys. Okay. So the first important thing is we have to understand what is an organization. Okay. So any organization, let it be an NGO, let it be an engineering organization, let it be an IT company, let it be a shop, a simple shop, doesn't matter. All the organizations always have 7 spokes. I will just draw it here so you'll understand. Same thing, I'm just drawing it as a wheel and 7 spokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and okay. So I'll just make it a little change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Okay. So symmetry. But what is this? What are these 7 spokes? The first spoke is always marketing. The second one is sales. Unless people know that you exist, nobody is going to recognize you. Nobody is going to buy from you. Operations. These are called as front end functions. So these are the first 3 spokes. Then it is a back end function. Means what? A customer cannot see this function. Okay. Customer cannot interact with this function. So if I'm your customer, I'm not going to interact with HR. I'm not going to interact with finance. I'm not going to interact with R&D. I'm just going to interact with marketing, sales, or operations. And there is a very important function which is management, and it has a strategy in it. Okay. So who taught me this? I was not having any business legacy. My father was working in All India Radio in Pune. So who taught me this? I also have mentors, like you have mentors at your college or at outside places. I also have mentors. So who taught me this? I'm very grateful to a guy called Siddharth Rajshekar, and I'm very grateful to a guy called Rajiv Talreja. So these 2 guys are teaching me business actively and how to actually manage all these functions. So very important for any engineer to understand this. Every function is equally important. Always remember this. No function is less equal or no function is less important. Now, this front end function, back end function, where is the design engineer going to fit? You can see all these green boxes, and these green boxes are where the design engineer is always going to fit. So you can be a technical sales guy. That means you should be very thorough with your technicalities. You can be an operations guy who is actually handling the operations, or you can be an R&D guy where you are developing new products. Is that making sense? Type in make sense, MS, if this is making sense, and write this down. This is very important lesson for every single engineer. Okay, every single engineer. You have to be very much curious about how an organization functions. Okay, and type in done. Type in done. Quick, 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 quick. So sales is the what I can say is the most rewarding, and uh, what I can say, it's the most fundamental function of any organization. Okay, it's not just measured in terms of money, it is always measured in terms of performance. So sales is the only function which generates revenue, but you cannot directly jump in sales if you are very much focused in an engineering side. I would suggest you guys to work in operations or R&D for some maybe 6 months or 1 year, and then try develop your selling skills, then try develop your overall, what you can say, technical sales skill. Okay, good, nice. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks Soham for feedback. Nishad says done. Gaurav says done. BEA06 Abhishek says done. Okay, that's your, I think that's your class name. Deepak says done. Abhimanyu says done. Samad says done. Nishan says done. Perfect. Okay, nice. So let's move on, and we will try to understand concept of a product. Okay, the internship is focused on product development. The internship is not focused on tool. Tools are never going to give you job. If you select a tool first and domain later, you are going to get trapped in a tool environment. Always remember this, guys. If you want to become a successful engineer, focus on a product. Don't focus on a tool. If you focus on a tool like Creo, CATIA, Hypermesh, LS-DYNA, ANSYS, you will become what? You will become a tool operator. You will not become an engineer. You will become a tool operator. For example, if I have a job of drilling some critical component, I'm not focused on which type of drill I'm using. If one drill fails, I will be using another drill. It's important, but not mandatory to have a drill as the main function. Okay, so don't become a tool operator. Always focus on becoming what? Solution provider. Okay, I'll explain you what it is. There is a concept for it. Okay, I'll explain you what that is. So what is a concept to product journey? Very simple journey. I'll explain you in 3 minutes. Pay very good attention. It all starts with customer. And customer interacts with whom? Customer always interacts with sales people. Always remember this. Customer in an organization first hand interacts with sales people. Okay. So what they do, they give feedback. Am I right? They give feedback that we want this, we want that. If you are creating a product, or if you are getting a new vehicle out, please do this. Please add this. And this is all happening in an inorganic way. Okay. So there is going to be a concept. There is always going to be a concept from sales department to concept department. Okay. So it can be a weird concept, like Ratan Tata had a concept of an affordable four-wheeler, which is going to be a replacement for a unsafe scooter. Okay, that's a concept. That's not engineering. That's a concept. And then what happened? It went into the design department. I'm talking about industrial design. I'm not talking about engineering design. It went into industrial design. That means how much should be the size, how much, how should be the shape, what is going to be the material which we are going to use, basic material. All these things come in industrial design, and then it comes to mechanical design or engineering design. Okay, so from sales department to concept and to industrial design, it is always going to be a long journey. Okay, 6 months, 8 months, whatever it is. And what is happening, guys, in this journey, you are cutting down few of the things. What do I mean by this? I'll just explain you. Can you see this particular model, this particular vehicle on the right side? Okay. This vehicle will be losing lot of things when it comes to production. Am I right? This is a concept vehicle. It's going to lose a lot of things. It's going to lose the wheel size. It is going to lose some panels here and there. It's going to have a proper mirror. Here you can just see a camera or just a concept. So basically, a concept is always going to be very important for any organizations to interact with the customer. Okay. Once the mechanical design department gets the job, it is their job to make it producible. So what is the final aim of any mechanical design department? The final aim is to make it producible and to sustain. Okay, there has to be a design which should sustain. So for example, if I have this digital pen, you guys can see this. If this is a digital pen and if I haven't considered drop test for this digital pen, then I'm not actually thinking by putting myself in shoes of a user. Okay, this is mandatory thing. If I have this wireless mouse, it must be drop tested because it's going to drop, it's going to fall down. There are going to be chances that it is going to fall down multiple times and it should survive. Okay, that's what is called as a mechanical design. And an important word for mechanical designers is DVP. Write this down. Write this down. What is the word? DVP. What is it? Design validation plan. And I'm going to give you an assignment. The assignment is very simple. You have to just Google what is design validation plan, and on LinkedIn you have to give answer to me. You have to connect me on LinkedIn and you have to give an answer what is design validation plan. This is going to clear n number of things in your mind. Why we are learning SOM, why we are learning design, why we are learning theories of machine, why we are learning metallurgy. All these concepts will be very clear to you. Making sense? Perfect. Okay. So let's go to the next important part, which is, I'll just delete this and rewrite. Yeah. Which is prototyping. I want to talk about prototyping now. So I'll just delete this. Yeah. So what is a proto? We'll try to understand what is a prototype. Okay. But before that, we have to, after the mechanical design department has done any work, they have to create two types of prototypes. One is going to be a virtual proto, which is called as CAE. Okay. Computer aided engineering. And there is going to be a physical proto. Okay. And there is a difference between prototype and a model. Okay, so let's understand what is a prototype and what is a model first, and then we will go for, yeah, there you go. So what is a prototype? We'll come back to the earlier slides. What is a prototype? It is 1:1 working model. So I showed you this picture. Let me come back to this picture again. Whatever this side is a model. It is 1:1, but it is not working. We know that it is made up of plastic or a clay. We know that this is not going to run on a normal roads. So this is a model. Even if it is 1:1, and if it is not working, you can still call it as a model. What is a prototype? Or it is called as a test mule. It is 1:1 and it always works. It always works. So write down definition of a prototype very quickly. What is the definition of a prototype? It is 1:1 working model. Okay, write it down. 1:1 working model. So I'll give you another example. If you are doing a wind tunnel testing, okay, for let's say Boeing 787 Dreamliner. Okay, it's a wind tunnel test. So what is it? Is it a model or a prototype? In wind tunnel, are you going to test a model or are you going to test a prototype? Let me get your answer in chat. It's a model. Vishal says model. Pradeep says prototype. Okay. Okay, guys, those who are talking or those who are saying this is a prototype, just refer to the first definition. Do the wind tunnel model or a wind tunnel part, whatever you are testing, is it going to work in real life? Will you have a full 1:1 scaled stuff in a wind tunnel? That's going to be a huge wind tunnel. Okay, so it is not going to be a prototype. Those who have answered prototype, that's wrong understanding. It's a model. That means you can scale it down, you can scale it up. It's not working. Okay, and that's why we call CAD model and not CAD prototype. Why? Because it is not a working stuff. It is not a working stuff. So always understand this. Now, let's go and understand a concept of CAE here. Okay. So a product engineer and a subject matter expert, that is what we are going to understand. We have to differentiate ourselves. We have to differentiate ourselves. What is a differentiation? A product engineer and an application engineer are two important domains. A product engineer is always going to work on a field data, a product data, and an application engineer is always going to be dominant with the tool. Okay, you are working on a tool, you are working as a tool expert, you are working as a tool operator, and that demand is going down day by day because of automation, because of many things. So you have to become a product engineer, which is in engineering terms called as subject matter technical expert, SMTE. So who is the product engineer? He can use any type of tool, he is moldable, but he is more focused on a product. He is more focused on a solution. He is not focused on a tool. Okay. So first of all, you have to understand what product I'm interested in. That's the question you have to ask. The question is, to become a product engineer, what product I'm interested in, and you can have an automotive field, you can choose a railways field, you can choose aerospace, you can choose defense, you can choose general engineering, you can choose marine applications. Unless you understand what is the role of a designer, what is the role of a mechanical engineer in all these domains, you may not be in a position to choose a tool. If you choose tool first and domain later, you are going to lose in a big way. If you choose domain first, so for example, I'm much interested in defense applications, I'm much interested in blast, I'm much interested in the armors penetration, bullet penetration. I want to build something which is sustainable, or I'm interested in electric vehicles, or I'm interested in overall automotive, or I'm interested in off highway, that is JCB or these companies, which is extractor, earth movers, mining equipments, or I'm interested in railways, I'm interested in marine applications. First, you have to focus on one application. Okay, not for job, for your own interest. Your interest is going to give you job. If you are focusing on just one organization, you will get stuck to that kind of an organization. If you are focusing on a product, you have many organizations which work for a product. Are you with me, guys? Type in WU if you are with me. With you. Are you understanding the concept of product and application, product engineer and application engineer? Don't choose a tool. The companies like Creo, CATIA, SolidWorks, Unigraphics, Hypermesh, that is Altair, all these companies are going to bombard you with their own products. There are going to be institutes outside who are going to tell you that you have to learn 6 different softwares. You have to learn 10 different softwares and then only you will get a job. That's a myth. What is it? That's a myth. That's very wrong. What is expected by an industry? Industry expects you to be a solution provider. Industry is not expecting you to be a tool operator. Fine. Type in SMTE if you understand this concept and write it down. Okay. What is a product engineer? What is an application engineer? What are the various SMTE, subject matter technical expert? Listen to me carefully. It's not SMT. You see, it is SMTE. Okay. Alternatively, it is also called as SME. Okay, subject matter expert. But why I'm not using SME word, I will tell you. Small and medium enterprises is also called as SME. So I don't want to have a confusion. Okay, SMTE is subject matter technical expert. Perfect, amazing. Done writing this. Learning something, type in learning if you are learning something which is out of your book. Just curious. Type in learning if you are learning something. Interesting, right? Okay, good, amazing. Thanks for feedback. Okay, this is what industry expects. Industry is not expecting you to operate a mouse and 3 buttons and create some 3D part. No, that's a myth. That is not what is expected. The expectations are you should be a good listener, you should be a solution provider, and you can only provide solution if your physics, applied mechanics, strength of material, design, metallurgy, manufacturing methods, and numerical methods are good. You cannot provide a solution with a very half-hearted or half-minded engineering skills. Your basics of engineering skills and your attitude is going to give you job. Your tool skills are just 10% of what you are going to get a job out of. Perfect. Okay. Now let's move on. Let's understand the further thing, which is I already told you what product. So guys, a simple exercise. Write down this in your notebook. I am going to finalize my product domain, my product interest in next 1 month, because you have to do a research. You cannot just finalize it randomly. In next 1 month, be assertive. Write it down in an assertive manner in a present tense. Chalu Vartaman Kal. Okay, write it down. What is it? I'm going to finalize my domain of interest in next 1 month. Okay, this is your goal. This is your assignment. And keep me updated on LinkedIn. I'm very active there. I'm purposefully telling you this. That's a very useful platform. If you haven't explored it, I'll teach you that as well. Perfect. Okay, and these are the some domains. Now you can come up with many other domains. There is a racing, there is electric two-wheelers, electric four-wheelers, there is battery compartment design. There are n number of things, charging infrastructure, non-conventional energy. Every single bit needs a designer. Defense is a big thing. I would ask every one of you here to give it a try to learn something about defense. That's a very big thing for mechanical engineers. Okay, it's changing like hell. Day in, day out, we are feeling it. Okay, perfect. Now let's move on with a simple concept of digital twin. Write this down. What is a digital twin? A digital twin is a digital replica, is a digital prototype. It's not a model. It's a digital prototype of either a process or a living thing or a product or a place. It can be anything. It can be a process. For example, if I'm manufacturing Chitale Bakarwadi, then I can be a digital twin. I can create a digital twin of the complete process. I can find out how much time it takes. If I'm going to explain you what is this living thing in the next slide. If let's say I want to build an autonomous car for city of Pune, okay, which is only able to run autonomously in city of Pune. What is it that is called as a digital twin? It's going to be city of Pune converted into a digital workplace. Okay, and it's just going to be available on computers in a binary format. That's why we call it as a digital one, or can be of a product. So for example, if I'm doing a seating system analysis, the seat is going to be a product, and that is something which is getting converted from CAD to CAE, which I call as a digital twin. So just to give you an example, this is the physical product, but this is a twin. It's not a digital twin. It's a twin of what? It's a twin of a living thing. It's a crash test dummy. So the crash test dummy is a product, is a physical product, and this physical product is getting converted into a digital product or digital in a digital environment in form of computer aided engineering. Okay, and this particular part is called as twinning. Okay, and what is important here, you are not wasting resources, you are not wasting too much of a time in building this product, but you have a digital twin which you can reuse, after every single crash test. The dummy must be calibrated. The calibration is very important, and that's going to take a huge amount of time. But for CAE, you always have a calibrated dummy, and that's a important thing. So let's understand why we need CAE. Okay, so I'll just delete all these things. Okay, the most important function of computer aided engineering is to reduce number of physical prototypes. Always remember this. That's the single motto. Write this down. If anyone asks you a question, why we are doing a CAE analysis, why we are doing FEA, you may be familiar with that word, but FEA is part of CAE. Okay, finite element analysis is part of computer aided engineering. So I will be using CAE as a correct word. You can alternatively use it as FEA, not a problem. So to reduce number of physical prototypes is the only aim for CAE. So what is it going to lead to? It is going to lead to reduced cost, development cost, because you are not building too many prototypes. So just to give you a thumb rule, if let's say, for example, I'm buying Tata Tiago, okay, which is priced around, let's say, 5 lakh rupees or 6 lakh rupees, just for understanding. Okay, 6 lakh, that's the middle version, whatever you call it. It's the price, just for an example. I want to do a crash testing before I launch the product. And if I'm investing too much in prototypes, my time to market will come down. Okay, my time to market will be slashing on me. That means it's going to increase. My time to market will be so high that I'm building prototypes, testing it. There will be a failure. Again, I will build a prototype. Again, I will test it. Again, there will be a failure, and that's going to take a lot of time. To save that, we are going to use CAE technique, computer aided engineering technique, which is a digital twin. Computer aided engineering is a digital twin of a physical product. That's what it is. Fine. Okay, so we understood what is a model, what is a prototype. We understood what is happening in the real world. And we also, yeah, this is what I actually tried to give you an understanding, Boeing 747 or the model. Okay, so let's just go into Eleno summary. Okay, why name Eleno? Can you guess? Anyone? How many of you went through a subject called CAE or FEA, finite element analysis? Okay, good. FEA you did, right? Perfect. So you may be knowing concept of elements and nodes, correct? So Eleno is ELENO. Okay, elements and nodes. So we are very focused on CAE. We are not doing any kind of offhand training to any of the other software. We are just making sure we are putting you in front with the nodes and elements. Okay, so let's try to understand. Let me just check how much we covered. What is it that we covered? So we covered what is engineering. We covered what is mechanical design. Okay, we covered what is an organizational structure. We covered what is a concept of SMT, and we are not yet covered with the concept of crash. So I will just cover that up. And who should learn crash analysis? That is something I will try to cover. And let's understand. So we are just going into the last segment, last 5 or 10 minutes. So what is a CAE process? That is something which I really want you to understand, and I want to explain it to you. So we understood what is CAE. Now we will understand what are the 3 things which are involved in a CAE process. The first thing is pre-processing, which will be there in your internship. The next thing is solving, which is going to be there in the next internship once you are done with the pre-processing internship. And then there will be post-processing. Okay. Yes, I am explaining, Nishant. I am explaining. What is pre-processing? Converting a CAD into finite number of nodes and elements is called as pre-processing, or it is even accurate, it is called as discretization. What it is called as? Discretization, or it is also called as meshing. So what is happening, guys? If you have a continuum, if you have a large, let's say a complete car, complete vehicle, there are going to be infinite molecules in it. You cannot measure them. You cannot count them. What we do, we select few of the molecules and we actually connect them. And what is it that we are doing? We are converting infinite number of molecules into finite number of nodes, and that's why we call it as finite element method or finite element analysis. Is this clear? Okay. What is finite element analysis? So what is pre-processing? Pre-processing is, I will repeat. Thanks for asking. Pre-processing is converting a CAD model into a finite number of nodes, because CAD model will have infinite number of points. So what is a node and a point? Node is where you measure something. It's not a mathematical definition. Node is where you measure something. So you have meteorological points. You have, let's say, checkpoints, and they are called as nodal points. That means you measure something there. Okay. So what is pre-processing? Converting a CAD into a suitable number of nodes and elements is called as a pre-processing. We assign material, we assign thickness, we assign connectivity. All these things are done in pre-processor. Then we solve the problem. That means we use a numerical method to solve a problem. And for that, we have explicit codes, implicit codes, we have CFD, we have discrete element methods, we have SPH, all these things. Okay. So we are going to solve a problem using some or the other numerical method. And then we are going to check stresses. We are going to check strain. We are going to check displacement, temperature, flow, coefficient of drag, everything we are going to check for. So we have pre-processing, solving, and post-processing as three important CAE steps. And to become a better engineer, just to have a basic understanding of CAD is always an added advantage. So any tool, it can be Creo, UG, CATIA, whatever it is, or Fusion 360, which is included in our internship. All these things are all going to be helpful. So CAD is an important aspect to understand what is the design process. But the main task which we are going to focus is on preprocessor, solver, and post-processor. Is this clear now, Nishant? You asked a question, right, to explain. Is this clear? Okay. Good. Abhishek, is this clear now? Type in clear if this is clear. What are the three essential things for any FEA? Clear? Okay, good. Thanks, Soham. Perfect. Okay. Now let's understand, guys, the concept of crashworthiness. Okay. What is a CAD? So I have explained it here. CAD, CAE for a product. So pre-processing, solving, and post-processing. That is what we actually discussed right now. Now, this is what I explained already, which is a combination of it. And now let's understand what is a crash. Okay, so I'll add another slide here. And what is a crash analysis? What is a crash worthiness? It is designing a structure to withstand a crash. What is crash worthiness? Designing a structure to withstand a crash. Now, what is going to happen, guys? If you are having a structure in front of you, it can be an elevator, it can be a vehicle, it can be a railway coach. Whatever a structure is, you have to design it in such a way that it withstands a crash. Now, what is a crash? It is nothing but if you are moving with a, let's say this is a rigid wall, and you are having a vehicle here. If it is traveling at a constant velocity v, and you are suddenly changing its velocity, then the acceleration is also going to change, and there is going to be law of conservation of momentum. So what is going to happen? There is going to be shock wave propagation. Shock wave propagation. And this shock wave propagation is going to create a damage. Okay, I'm explaining you what is crash. Just try to understand. Shock wave propagation is going to create a damage, and that damage has to be sustained. So if you have very stiff structure, so imagine you have a car like Ambassador or car like Premier Padmini, the older cars, they will not be able to absorb the damage because, or they will not be able to absorb the shock because they are not getting damaged enough. And where that shock is going to go, energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. It is going to be withstand by the occupant, and occupant will die. Whereas the modern cars, modern vehicles are able to absorb the shock, and occupants remain safe. Making sense? Type in make sense if this is making sense. So what is happening? You have a very stiff structure which will absorb no energy, and the energy will be absorbed by the occupant and he will die, he or she will die. Or you have a structure which is designed in a purposeful way for crash analysis or crash testing, and then it is going to absorb the crash and occupant will be safe. Clear? Perfect. Thanks Prashant, thanks Anand, thanks Bhushan, thanks Rushikesh. Perfect. Okay, amazing. Okay, so write down this. What is a crash? Crash is, or crash worthiness is, designing a structure to withstand a crash. That means you cannot add on. You cannot have a structure after after you manufacture it, which is going to absorb crash. Before you manufacture, before you actually conceptualize it, the designing has to be in such a way that it is going to absorb crash. So let's take some examples. Okay, I'll just explain you what is a crash worthiness. Okay, so you guys can see this part, which is an offset frontal crash. I'll show you some movies as well. You have some interior parts which are being tested. You have a frontal impact, that means a knee impact test for a passenger. So this is a driver side, this is a passenger side, and you are supposed to check what happens to the passenger when it is under frontal impact. This is a head impact scenario. So let's run some movies. 1 second. Yeah, there you go. So you have this as a seat testing. The first part is quasi-static analysis. That means it is a static analysis, but using an explicit solver. And you can see here a person with and without seat belt. And this is a frontal impact. So of course the seat is moving right now in the rearward direction, but I have just anchored it for visualization. So you can see here the seat is moving in the rearward direction and occupant tries to remain stationary. That is something which is called as a frontal crash. Fine. So this is how we can use CAE without actually manufacturing anything. This is a virtual prototyping technique. So for example, if I just go for blast test. So this is another example of an explicit analysis, which we can call it as a blast. Okay, this is not a crash for sure, but this involves an occupant. So you can see there is a mine which is getting exploded, and this is a truck, regular pickup truck which you have. And if it is having a hull, okay, so you can see a green hull here, there are going to be lesser shocks being delivered to the occupant, and occupant will be safe. Okay, so this is a use of CAE. Another thing, you can see bumper here. Okay, you can see bumper for this particular vehicle, which is an autonomous vehicle, and at 20 km/h it is hitting. The bumper can be replaced in speed. This is a defense project. Okay, of course the CAD is completely different. This is a hypothetical CAD, but we have a regular CAD also, which was supplied by our customer. We cannot show it to anyone. That's a non-disclosure agreement. Simple. Okay, so you have this complete bumper replaced, but before you test it, you cannot understand how much should be the thickness, what material shall I use, how should be the joining, what should be the bolt size. All these things can be done in event of designing process using CAE. Okay. The next is, this is a bunker penetrator. So I'll just delete this and explain you. So this is 800 meter per second, almost 1 kilometer per second. So imagine you are traveling at 1 kilometer per second. That's how the speed is. And this is a concrete bunker, RCC bunker. So we modeled concrete, we modeled what is this bomb, which is a shell, and it penetrates this 2-meter width. Okay, I'm not talking about height. 2-meter width wall, that is 6 feet typically wide wall, and the bunker penetrates and then explodes. Okay, the bomb penetrates and explodes. That is an application of a bunker penetrator. Okay, so the next topic is, who can be a crash analyst? Those who are interested in solid mechanics subject. If you are not interested in solid mechanics subject, don't enter into the crashworthiness field. If you are interested in, as I said last time, physics, applied mechanics, SOM, design, manufacturing, dynamics, metallurgy, and other stuff, then this is a very good domain to explore. This is a very good internship which you can explore. Fine. And these are some defense applications which you can see, which is all to do with time domain. Okay. And which is also called as explicit dynamic. If you want, you can write this down. Explicit dynamic. That is what the domain is. Okay. And then you have some reports. So the post-processing part, let me explain you that. Whatever you see here is called as post-processing. Okay. That means I'm giving you a stress plot. So this is a von Mises stress plot. Okay. This is a displacement plot. Then you have some energy curves. You can see some energy curves. You have some acceleration curves. Okay. This is all called as post-processing. Remember this. This is all called as post-processing. Okay. And lastly, this is a very interesting application which I cannot resist showing you. The last thing which you can see here is called as crash rated gates. And here the gate is important, not the vehicle. Vehicle occupant, nothing is important. You must have heard a story or an event which happened in France. A terrorist actually went on with a huge truck or a lorry and rammed few hundred people. Without a bomb, without an explosive, no one can detect it, and it just got rammed in. And that is something which can be avoided using these crash rated gates for high profile areas, high sensitive area like nuclear power plant or thermal power plant or a hydro power plant or embassy or a Rashtrapati Bhavan or parliament. So these crash rated gates are regulated as per some conditions. So what is happening? This is at 80 kilometers per hour. And this truck is weighing around 8 tons, that is 8,000 kilogram. And that is a very interesting application. We are working actively. LNO is working on this. Okay. So this is something which is very, very important. Okay. So it's extremely important that you understand what is crashworthiness before you try and enter into this field. And that's why we have came up with a simple internship, which is our first one. I'll just explain you in 1 minute, and then I will hand it over to Sandeep sir. So what is it in the internship? The first thing is Fusion 360, which is a very good tool for understanding CAD, used widely in industry, especially in electric vehicle industry, because it is a cloud-based tool, because it doesn't need installation at a heavy level, and it can still perform most of the functions, and it's cheap. So it's less costly. Fusion 360, we are going to do a 60 hours training. Okay, a huge one, and practice is different. So this is a training part, which is 60 hours. So not a small training. And here we are going to create 4 models. Okay, I will be explaining you what models and all those who join the internship program, training internship program. And then we are going to learn Altair Hypermesh for 1D, 2D, and 3D meshing. So we are essentially covering only the pre-processing part, and we will be doing a small amount of solver part. A small amount like a modal analysis or a simple static analysis we will be doing using Hypermesh, which is essentially OptiStruct. Okay, that is something which we are going to learn. So this is going to be another 60 hours, including practice and other stuff. Okay. So these two tools are going to be your internship number 1, tools and the overall understanding of automotive parts. So we'll be learning complex 2D parts which are supposed to be meshed, complex 2D plastic parts which are supposed to be meshed, 3D foam part which are supposed to be meshed. We will be building some Fusion 360 models which are CAD models, essentially assembling them, rotating them, trying to make sure there is a GD&T stuff going on. And these things are going to be included in your training part. And you are supposed to do an internship to create industrial models to solve some industrial problem with us. So training part is using Eleno Engineering Learning Center, and the industrial internship part is going to be, so ELC is Engineering Learning Center and Eleno Energy LLP is going to be our internship part. Okay, so that is what is going to happen. So this is a training part and this is an internship part. This is kind of a full time. Your training will go for 1 month. You can do simultaneously, and your internship will be another 2 months or 1 month, to how your academics actually allows you. Okay, so all these details are being formulated by Sandeep sir and me, and we will be circulating it with those who are interested. Okay, so I'll be doing a quick poll. Okay, just give me 1 second. I'm creating a quick poll where I will be asking you guys simple question. Are you interested in this training and internship program? Okay, and Control C, the question is yes, no. That's all. Okay, only 2 questions. Are you interested in training and internship program? Training part is always going to be a small charge. This is not my money making business, but a small charge to make sure I give you a good support. Okay, guys, I'll launch a poll. 1 second. I'm launching a poll. 1 second. Don't answer it on chat box. Don't answer it on chat box. So as I said, there will be a small charge for training. After you finish internship, there will be a bonus course which I will be supplying you, which is going to be a fantastic course on seating system. Okay, that's going to be a huge bonus course which I will be giving you as a simple thing. Okay, so are you interested in this training and internship program? Okay, I will be launching this poll. Out of 221, I got 149 votes. I'm going to wait for another 20 seconds. Guys, please vote quickly. 160, 162, 165, 168. Okay, 174. Out of 219, 217, 180. Okay, there are still 30 people remaining. Guys, please be fast. I just want to show you the results. Are you interested in this training and internship program? 186. Be quick. There are still 15% people who haven't voted. Please vote, please vote, please vote, please vote. 190. Don't chat on chat box right now. Just give a vote. Give a vote. Because I will be connecting them personally, those who are interested in this program. And as well as it's just impossible to do it without a team effort. Okay, So this is a team effort. This is just a, I'm just a facilitator here. Most of the work is going to be done by all your training placement officers and the faculty. Amazing. Okay, 196, almost 90% have voted. So I'm just going to end the poll. Okay, I'm just going to end the poll. 197. And there you go. And I'll just share the results. Can you guys see the results? Is it visible? Type in visible if it is visible. Okay. So 98% of people are interested. So Sandeep sir, I'll just unmute you 1 second. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can see
it's
the
really
results.
nice. Yeah, right.
So 193, and as you guys know, I have started recording this session. We will try to share this session on my YouTube channel. It will be public, and we will have some valid date for it, okay, to enroll for this internship. Abhishek is also interested, but I stopped the polling, so that's fine. So it's like most of the people are interested in this training and internship program, which is an industrial level training and internship program. This is not a money making business for LNO, but to give you some value, we have to actually extract value in other form, which is nothing but money. Okay. That's the only thing which we are going to do. It's all going to be a transparent process with Sandeep sir's help. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks a lot. And it was an amazing interaction. More than 218, 220 people stayed till last. Deepak, we have a very competitive cost model working with the colleges. Okay. I'm not going to work out cost by myself. It is all going to be with the help of colleges. Okay. So Sandeep sir will be in a position to give you that answer in a while. And over to you. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. I hope I'm audible.
Yeah.
So first of all, I would like to thank Nachikit sir for an entire LNO team for coming out with this wonderful session and this particular initiative of this training come internship program. Look, guys, as in training and placement officers, we always we are always concerned about the students placement, internship and training, right kind of track they need to get so that they can have a good career. And particularly if you see in this mechanical industry, there is a huge competition into the market, and there are students, they are also expecting a lot of good jobs rather than being there into the blue chip, sort of different profiles which are available. So we thought, let us come up with this idea, and then Nachikar sir agreed on that, and then we decided to go ahead. Now coming back to the poll which has been taken, yes, absolutely 98% students have shown the interest. Look, guys, this is very important session, I would say. This is a very important session, I would say, because I have seen that there are students who are really looking for a good job and good industry and good company also. But as sir has clarified, you must have first good skill sets, and that skill sets are very essential. Considering this pandemic situation earlier, like before the vaccination, we were not sure about how the things will go ahead, but we see some positive picture because vaccination is going in a very good way and good manner. So I think market will open once again, and the all projects which are shut down, maybe they will open up once again, and the scenario will be again good for all mechanical engineers. So those who are looking forward to start their career in particularly design, definitely this is going to help you. So as sir guided you, first you need to think about what kind of profile you're looking for. Don't think about the company or don't think about the tool. First focus on your skill sets, and I guess Nachiket sir is a very good guide and a good teacher basically, which we find that generally industry people are very keen about doing their work, not into this particular training and guiding. But I find you a very good person, because I can see that, like, the students, the way student interacted throughout the session, it is really nice. And definitely this is going to be a kind of interaction for not only this session, it is going to be for the training also and internship also.
Correct.
So yeah, so few students asked questions about, like, sir, what is the cost? Yes, we do care of students. As you know, the students are from the different location, different colleges, and we thought, let it be a minimum. Why minimum? I'll tell you. Internships are generally are not being charged. So over here also internship is also not been charged. It is been done through NLO Energy. While the training cost is there a little bit, the reason behind this is जब free में सब कुछ मिलता है तो उसका कुछ value नहीं रहता. And this is the experience from not only industry, and TPO also found that the students उनको अगर कुछ फोकट में दिया तो they don't have any value, don't even work on it. Why? क्योंकि फोकट में है तो कुछ किया तो भी चलेगा, नहीं किया तो भी चलेगा. That is the attitude of the student, and we need to somewhere avoid. Look, definitely this experience of 2 months or 3 months is going to be worth. And I have seen people when they pass out and they go and pay lakhs of rupees for the design courses on hands-on courses, but this is not that much cost. I am sure about it. Like, it is very, very low, very cheaper in cost, but value added course which can definitely give you a good confidence. Why I'm telling you, because I have seen my students work over there, or they did some sort of courses, or they are doing it because we also launched this program first time in this entire Konkan region in Western Maharashtra basically. And I see the students' response is really good. So I hope you will get all those details from the sir also, from your from his end, and from my end also. I'm going to share it to my college students, as well as the other college students. So you can reach out to Nachiket sir on LinkedIn, and then through mail also. He will definitely guide you. Soon we are going to float this program. Probably students are waiting, because from Mumbai University students are already passed out. They have finished with their examination, like second year students, third year students. So they are waiting for good opportunity, and we just, from my college students also, waiting for since last 1 week that when to start. So they are very excited about it. So Nachiket sir will announce. You be in touch with him through mail.
Yeah.
His point of
I
contact.
think we can finalize it in 1 day. That's not going to be a very big issue.
Right. Correct. So will not take much time ultimately to start off this training, but your participation is very essential, very important, and this is going to change your attitude. You will build your skill sets, and definitely you'll go ahead. So with this, I again say thank you so much, all the students, all TPOs from Maharashtra TPO Association, then obviously our today's speaker, Mr. Nachiket, and his entire team for coming up with this initiative. Definitely this is going to be big, and we are looking forward to have this program every year for summer internship program. So thank you so much, everyone. With this, I declare that the session is over, and many of you have put the queries and everything. I guess sir is already sharing. I guess sir will share all his social media credentials, or I would say this particular details, to reach out via mail, so that these people are very eager to connect to you. So please be in touch with them.
I'll just summarize it. First of all, thank you very much to all training and placement officers. I'm seeing a lot of enthusiasm from young training and placement officers to make sure they are also learning. I'll be very frank with you guys. From VIIT in Pune, we have 3 faculty members who did a full-time internship like they were students, and that was VIIT's initiative and the faculty's initiative, because they wanted to understand how industry functions. And I'm very grateful to these guys who are taking a lot of efforts. Even if there are some niggles here and there, it's perfectly fine. But this is something which I really appreciate with all TPOs. I want everyone to get enrolled in this program. For faculty as well as for student, the cost will be exactly same. I will ask faculties also to get enrolled to understand how industry functions, and that way it's going to be very easy. So I'm just giving you this bit.ly Nachiket Phadke, my name. So bit.ly is a shortener, link shortener. You can directly get going to get connected with me on LinkedIn. You can see all my profiles there. We have a Telegram channel, and we have an LNO Engineering Learning Center as our YouTube channel. Okay, so you can just watch a bunch of videos I upload, and I keep on uploading. I have a podcast as well. I have LinkedIn profile, I have Facebook profile, I have Insta profile. Whatever you want, I can just get connected with you. But I'm super active on LinkedIn, so I prefer LinkedIn over Insta, Facebook, and other stuff. Super active on LinkedIn. Put me a message, within couple of hours I'll be just giving you a reply. Okay, so any other questions, guys? Yeah, rough idea how much it will cost. There is no rough idea. There will be a final wording with discussion with Konkan region and other TPOs. I will be just figuring out what is the sweet spot, and that will be out on your email. So watch your emails. Watch your emails. Okay. It's not going to be on social media. I'm not going to share cost on social media. It will be on email. The link for registration will be also on email and through proper channels. Okay. There is one more thing which was being asked. Will you recommend this for pass out students? Yes, perfectly fine for any pass out student to join in. It's amazing. It's going to be an amazing course, and you will get an internship letter. You will get an internship joining letter. You'll get an internship finishing letter if you finish it. I'm not just going to give you letter if you just pay for it. Okay. And as sir said, training part is a separate organization. Internship part is a separate organization. There will be an evaluation before you join an internship. We don't want anyone to join with a half heart. We don't want anyone to join with an understanding that, okay, as soon as I finish training, I'm going to get an internship. No, I'm going to evaluate. I'm going to talk to you. My team will be talking to you for 5-10 minutes. We'll understand whether you are aligned with us or not. And then only you are going to get enrolled in the internship, because it's a lot of effort for our engineers to give you internship guidelines. It's not going to be a small effort from our side. Okay. So we have to make sure we only allow people who are 100% committed. Okay. And 100% ready to work. Perfect. Okay. LinkedIn profile I have already shared. Can you share the stats of students who have done the training? We have statistic on our website, lno-elc.com. We don't share mobile numbers, their names or their email addresses for privacy reason. They get joined to some MNCs and then they get bugged. A lot of bugging happens, whether it is good, whether it is bad. You have to trust me. You don't have to trust. You don't have to trust to the reviews. We have a bunch of reviews on LinkedIn or on Google, but you can just take it as a simple reference. My word is something which is having a weight in industry as well. So just trust me. Okay. Thank you. Thank you guys. You're most welcome. And I'm going to open again for everyone to chat. And we can have a 5-minute session. If you are interested, you can just ask me question. Raise your hand and I will unmute you. Okay, Shivam raised hand. One second. Let me unmute those who raised hand. Yes, Shivam, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Mainly, what are the subjects that we should have knowledge if we want to study more in CAE or in crash analysis?
Those are the subjects which are listed. It starts with physics,
Okay.
applied mechanics, strength of material, design of machine elements, dynamics, metallurgy, numerical methods.
Okay, sir.
So
that
these are the subjects.
Yes, sir. If a basic knowledge is there, then it also is good, or you should have more deep knowledge in
You
these
should be interested in learning deeper. Interested. I will not say that it's just going to be a huge one, but at least have an interest in that.
Okay, yeah. Got it, sir. Got it.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, Datta. I'm unmuting you 1 second. Yeah, there you go.
Datta Pause.
Yes, I have. Okay,
Hello?
I cannot unmute that guy. Soham, yes.
Soham Dev.
Soham Dev.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Datta, yes. Go ahead, Datta.
Sir, can I go?
Yes, go
Yeah,
ahead.
please go ahead.
Soham, go ahead. Yeah.
Sir, I wanted to ask a question regarding EVs. Sir, are there any advancements in battery disposal of EVs?
No, I'm not an expert. So I'll get some expert on this this question, battery disposal. That's more of a, I don't know whether a renewable guy or somebody who is a chemist.
Chemical, basically.
Chemical guy. Chemist.
Chemical guy.
Yeah. So I'm not an expert, so I'll refrain answering because I'll give a wrong answer.
Okay, sir, no problem.
Yeah, Prathamesh, I have unmuted you. Rishikesh Thorat is asking a question. Which mode used for internship? It is all online. and it is all a remote. That means even if it is online, you should not be in Pune. You can be anywhere in any part of the world where there is a connectivity, because we will be meeting on Zoom. We will be judging you on Zoom. We will be taking your progress on Zoom. So you should be always there present in the connected region. Okay. So internship, there is no cost. Charging for an internship is a crime. We have never ever charged for an internship. We deliberately charge for training. That's our responsibility. That's like give and take. Internship is an industrial responsibility. Okay, so there will not be any charge for any kind of an internship. If anyone is charging you for internship, that's a crime. Okay, that's what I think. Yes, Prathamesh, go ahead. You are on unmute anyway. Prathamesh, can you hear me? Okay, Prithviraj, I'll unmute you.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Prithviraj.
Yes, sir. I am from mechanical engineering, but I'm not having that much knowledge about the CAE. So
We
will
are
you
here
cover
to
all?
learn CAE. We
Yes,
are
sir.
not
So,
supposed to have any knowledge of CAE. We are supposed to have knowledge of basics of engineering.
so are you going to cover all the topics which are
Yes,
required for that
basics
internship?
of engineering course will be there with you, which is very important 40 hours course. That is also going to be included in your training program.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah, Nitin, if you are expert in Fusion and expert in Hypermesh, you can apply directly for an internship. Okay. Hitesh, very good question. Hitesh is asking, do you guys pay stipend for an internship? Instead of stipend, we are going to give you an advanced course as a bonus for your internship. That is nothing but kind of a stipend, but it's not supposed to be a money transaction. It is going to be a transaction with regards to a bonus course, a high-end course, which you will be joining. Okay, that is all listed. That will be all listed in your email. Just watch for the email. Soham, you have another question, or shall I lower your hand? Okay, Uday, I have made you unmute.
Sir, I have a question related to the projects that you will be providing.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, go
So,
ahead.
sir, you said that there will be some sort of project related to seating, but
Yes.
is there any sort of project related to EVs which you will be having?
I'll tell you guys, EVs, the structures are going to be same. If you are interested in EV, first make sure that you are not focusing on the witchcraft, which is your electronics and the programming and the other part. I'm trying to get your attention to this subject, not because I'm interested in EVs. I'm interested in safe structures. Are you getting my point? So for EVs, the safe structure requirement is exactly the same, even it is stringent because mass is very high. So you have to understand how crash works. You have to understand how meshing works, and then only you can be in a position to get detailed into the EVs. So this is not a program for EV enthusiast only. This is a program for solid mechanics enthusiast, a physics enthusiast, and a crashworthiness enthusiast. Making sense?
So
Yes.
the project about seating, what will it cover basically?
See, the seating
the
system
project on
training,
seating, what aspect will it focus?
it's not going to be project on seating. It is going to be a seating system training, which we are going to provide you after you finish your internship. So your projects will be varied. I'm going to give you exposure to defense projects. I'm going to give exposure to railways project. And I'm also going to give exposure to full vehicle project, which is wheels and other stuff. So we are not directly going to jump on a huge scale model or huge model, which is a full vehicle or a full seat. That's going to take a lot of time and a lot of energy from our side as also. But we are going to focus on small bits, and then we will be making a progress. Making sense? Okay.
So,
yeah.
so basically the whole, basically the whole process will be focused on crash test analysis and not anything related to seating or ergonomics, right?
See, seating part comes under crashworthiness. seat is a very important part. Even it has more number of tests than the full vehicle. So we are going to focus, but not in this internship. This is not the intern. This is an introductory part. This is kind of a post introduction. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So Faizan,
Thank you.
the training will be recorded videos, reason being connectivity, and you will have live support every day. So there will be a time slot which will be mentioned at what time you are supposed to ask your questions to our engineers or to me. Okay. Yes. So Uday. Oh, okay. You muted. Satej, go ahead. No, Gaurav, there is no nothing about CFD. We are not experts in CFD. So you can join Harshavardhan, you can join training at whatever time you prefer. That's correct. Where to register your email, Bharat? Have you received email from my side? Okay. Krupal is saying, hello, sir. Very good at Fusion 360, but not in Hypermesh. No, you cannot. It's a combined session. So you have to go through the complete training program and then the internship program. Okay. So Bharat, you can send me email on my LinkedIn profile, or you can just get connected anywhere you wish to. Else, we can do one simple thing, guys. Sandeep sir can take a lead, and I have email addresses for those who are interested. Or for Bharat, you can ask your training placement officer to get connected with Sandeep sir, so that it will be easy for you and me to get connected, or else you can directly get connected me on LinkedIn. Yes, Satej, you are on mute. Ask me.
Hello, sir. My sound is clear.
Yes, yes.
Sir, sir, I'm asking about, I have not done any type of course on SolidWorks or, sorry, Hypermesh in Fusion 360. So I have seen that software, have that knowledge, basic knowledge of that software, but is it, I am eligible to apply for that? How will it get?
You are eligible for the training program. Everyone is eligible for training program. Unless the training is over, I cannot be confident that you guys know how to work on those tools. Then only I can be able to assign you an internship, which is a live project. Okay. It's not going to be something which is out of thin air. It's going to be a live industrial project, which we will be sharing with you. So you should be very good in these two tools, first of all.
Yeah, sir, I would like to add one point. I just wanted to clarify a few things to the students, like those who are here.
Yes.
Look, guys, when you go for an internship, so basically you need to understand internship means you're going to have some hands-on work that you'll be doing a real time into the industry, right? So when you're going to have that hands-on work into the industry, when you have the knowledge about that particular skill set or tool or technology, then industry can allot you some sort of work, right? So that is what called as an internship. Internship is like, you know, real-time work you'll be doing under someone's supervision, or some team member will be guiding you, but they will not be training you. You'll be doing actual hands-on work. But why we are putting, or why I have suggested, sir, to have some basic training before the internship is basically you should have that subject knowledge, right? You should have that particular knowledge. You should be get trained, because there is audience mixture of, you know, from second year to the final year. And the students, we all know how we are learning right now in engineering because of this online and everything. So that's what I suggested, sir, that you should have some hands-on training first and then the internship part. So don't mix that we will go directly for the internship. Yes, if you are certified somewhere into this whatever skill set sir is asking, and if you are tremendously good into it, and if you are able to crack his interview, then definitely sir will take you for the internship. But if you really don't know anything about it, if you want to start from scratch, I would really suggest you to go with the training first, and then you can go easily for the internship, and you can do n number of internship ahead, I guess. So just be clear about these things, because basics need to be very clear first, and training is important for that.
Yes, correct.
Thank you, sir.
So what I have done right now, I'll tell you guys. I have created a simple WhatsApp group. Okay, I am going to put that WhatsApp group link here in the chat box. Okay, I'm stopping the messages 1 second. I'm stopping the messages. Just join in this WhatsApp group. Copy this in your maybe text editor or maybe your browser and join this WhatsApp group for internship updates. Sandeep sir is also an admin there. So I just created it. Oh, oh my goodness. Okay. Just going crazy. Fine. Okay. So if your friends want to know more about this, you can ask them to join this same group, same chat link, and it's going to be a two-way communication, or we'll keep it as admin only, and we'll try to make it simple instead of emails, and you can update your emails here as well, or the same information will be there in the group itself. So Sandeep sir, will that work?
Yes, definitely, sir. That will
So
help. In
let's
fact,
be
they can
transparent
have
with everyone.
one-on-one.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
yes, that's true.
it will be very easy for everyone to understand this, and I will be also in a position to control it. You will be also in a position to control it.
Right,
So
right, right.
I'm just
No problem.
making you an admin here.
No problem, sir.
Yeah. Okay. And any other TPO faculty, anyone wants to be here and become an admin, I will be very happy
Yes.
to make them an admin. They can add their students, college students in this group, and we can still have a very good relation there. So already 100 people joined. So that's the power of digital learning. Let's get connected, let's make use of it, and that will be the best part. Okay, so we are not just going to use it for some fake purposes. We'll use it for a very solid purpose. Let's create a buzz and make sure that we are becoming product engineers for future India. Okay, this is going to be crazy. This decade is going to be crazy, and you are the start point of it. So you should be the guys who are able to generate designs, not the CAD models, designs, by taking into account many things. So I'll be in touch every week, almost twice a week, thrice a week, and I'll be guiding you. Okay, good. 111 participants. So this link TPOs can share in their respective departments. This is a internship and training. I'll just rename it for a better purpose. Eleno, okay, so I cannot give a good name. Internship.
Eleno internship program or
Yeah,
Eleno
that's
TNL.
something. I'll just do Eleno CAD and CAE.
Right.
T and I, training and internship. Okay, and I will also put, sir, I will be very happy to have Maharashtra TPO this logo as well.
Sure, I'll discuss with the team and I'll update you
Yes,
on that.
sure. So we can have it as a joint program. So everyone will be in a better position. Good. Thank you very much, guys. You don't have Fusion or the Hypermesh. It is always free for all students. Fusion and Hypermesh is free for all students. You can just go to Altair University. Even if you don't join this program, you can still have Fusion 360 or Hypermesh at your laptop. Laptop is must. Laptop or a desktop is must. They can go for, see what you can do, Devendra, is you can either talk to your college if it is easily reachable, or you can just try and invest in second-hand laptops which are not more than 15,000 rupees. A good one. I'm not talking about a crap one. At least in Pune, we get those kind of laptops, which is going to be a good investment for you. Okay. Yeah. On mobile, how many things you are
Sir,
doing?
Nachiket sir.
Yes.
Hello, sir, Nachiket sir. Yeah,
I
I just wanted to add one thing. Like the students, those who are, don't have laptop or desktop, they can approach to their TPOs because, now in Pune, colleges have been started. In fact, faculty is there. So they can allow few students, not all, because, everybody is not going college, but with some special reason, if you approach to TPOs, maybe TPO will allow you for this internship. You will be coming to the lab and sitting over there. So that's not an issue. You can just reach out to the right person of the institution. They will get they'll solve their problem. I would suggest that will be the best option right now instead of spending money. If you have, then go ahead. I don't mind. We don't mind at all. But that's the right option. I am also going to try for this. Let's see how the things will go.
Yes, and you need a very basic configuration, guys. You don't need a huge kind of a workstation kind of a configuration. Very basic i3, i5 with an onboard a graphic card or a dedicated graphic card, all things can work. That's not going to be a problem. Okay, so there is one question and then we will just stop this meeting. The question is, Fusion laptop, okay, one second. No,
Okay.
Fusion 360 Hypermesh, yeah, done. I think yes, we are done. Yep. Okay. So see you then, guys. Any further question you can ask us on. Just wait. Just hold on your breath. We will be circulating all these things in a PDF format on the WhatsApp group as well as on LinkedIn as well as on our email list, whichever is available. Okay. So we can go ahead with that. Perfect. Okay, so time for almost 1 o'clock. Let me have a lunch. You guys have a good lunch. Take good care of yourself. And Sandeep sir, thanks for arranging. And
Thank you,
see
sir. Thank
then.
you so much. Thanks for your time. Thank you. Thank you, students. Let's go ahead for this. Thank you. Thank you all. Yeah. Okay, sir. Bye. Bye.
See you.
See you.
Bye.